Let's listen to this.
He died for me. He died. Now I'm sitting with Christ and He crucified. All the money can know. What you can do, you can do. What He is, you are. He's gonna come back and He glorified. I feel that money is
It's just so beautiful what this young kid is being fed with at this age, away from the junks that we were fed with. This is the gospel of Christ. The gospel is that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures, and He was buried, and He rose again the third day. That's why in 1 Corinthians 15 from verse 1, Paul will say, "Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preach unto you, which also ye have received, and wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if ye keep in memory what I preach unto you, unless you have believed in vain. For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures, and He was buried, and He rose again the third day according to the scriptures." So this is why it is very pertinent you monitor the people teaching your children, because this is a generation where the sound doctrine of Christ is being fed to children. The sound gospel of Christ is being preached, and it starts with the infants. It starts with kids. This is the fact of the gospel, that Christ died, He was buried, and on the third day He rose again. These are the facts of the gospel. These are the crux of the gospel. These are the very essence. This is the proof of the gospel, that Christ died, He rose. Paul will go ahead to say that if Christ be not raised from the dead, that our faith is vain. So this is the very essence of the gospel. Away from all the works, away from all the things that we have been fed with, away from all the noise. This is the gospel. You must understand. And any preacher who cannot preach the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus, any preacher who makes the listeners look away from the cross, any teaching that makes you look away from the cross, is not the gospel of Christ. The gospel of Christ must have this fact, that Christ died, He was buried, and He rose again the third day. These are the facts. And anywhere you are, any sermon you listen to, and these facts are missing, you are not listening to the gospel. You are listening to mere philosophies of men.